Hi guys, how's it going? I'm not there today because my wife and I have had our son Ezra, so I'm at home helping take care of him. What I want to do in this video is talk to you guys a little bit about the beginning of the year, help you figure out where everything is, and also help you guys get adjusted to these video lectures that we'll be doing while I'm out until I get back. So first thing we're going to do is just remind you how to get to my website and that kind of stuff. So we'll go to the website, and here's the main page of my website, and here's a link if you don't have it to the main page of my website. So you're going to want to go there and bookmark it. One thing that I'd like for you to do with the video lectures that you're going to be watching at the beginning of each class period is to bring your own laptop and a set of headphones so that you can watch the video at your own pace. Pause the video when you need to take notes or to enter a link into your web browser, whatever it is, and then start the video again when it's appropriate. So if you have your own laptop and your own headphones, then you can watch at your own pace without bothering anyone next to you. So anyway, so let's do that now. You guys open a web browser, get your laptop, and enter this link. You pause the video, and then you can start it again when you've got that done. So that's going to take you, that link will take you here to my site. You're going to want to bookmark that. And on this main page, you can see some basic information here. Summer packets. You're going to want to make sure that you turn in your summer packet sometime this week. It'll be graded as a quiz grade. And just make sure you get that turned into the sub, and I'll get that graded sometime in the next few weeks. Another thing you can find on the main page here is a link to my video lectures, so we can click on that, and it's going to take us to my YouTube channel, and you can see a bunch of different playlists, and here's a playlist for AP Physics C, and if we go there, we'll see, well, there aren't any videos here yet, but eventually there will be videos like the one I'm recording now, and you guys can come here and look for the videos. Also, links to the videos will be on the calendar and on my OneNote, so those are also places that you can go and look. And going back to my website, let's go, oh, not that. Go back to my website. There we go. On the side here, you can see all the different classes. So the first thing we're going to do is click on AP Physics C, the title there, and it's going to take you to a short description of the course and also a link to my OneNote. Just like before, you can view my OneNote through a web browser if you like, and I'll show you what that'll look like as we go through this here. Another option is that you could download the OneNote app on either your Mac or Windows computer. And that kind of makes things a little bit more user-friendly if you would like to go about it that way. Anyway, you can see different notebooks here. We're going to go to Introduction. And then we have different pages in those different sections in the notebook. And here we have Getting Started. So that's some stuff that we're going to do in just a second when we're done looking at our website. And you might want to, if you're going to use the web browser, you might want to bookmark this page so you can get back to it easily. Or if you are using OneNote, then you might want to take a moment to add my notebook to your OneNote so that it's just in the app and you can get to it very easily, even offline, which is really nice. Okay, next we've got announcements. You might see some announcements from previous years that still apply, so you might want to take a look at that. Just like last year, we'll do holography after the AP exam, so you can see the prices for different plates depending on what you would like to do, but that's pretty far ahead from now, so we don't have to worry about the end of the year just yet. SIGDIGS is a big question. How are SIGDIGS handled for physics tests? It's basically the same as the AP Physics 1 test if you took that, and you can read more about that here. There is updated software for Logger Pro, so you're going to want to download that. And that's one of the main things I need you guys to get done after school at home today. Please don't try to download this software at the school. It's a large file, and if everyone from all of my classes were trying to download this file, it would sort of cripple the network, and the bandwidth is not going to be great. It's going to take you a long time to download it. So wait till you get home, download it, install it. It's going to ask you for a password. This is the password here that you need to enter. There's different links based on which operating system you're using on your computer. Make sure you get it installed tonight, and you'll be using that tomorrow for the lab activities. So you want to make sure you're doing that. If you've got an older computer, older operating systems have different links down here. Okay, so make sure you get that done tonight. Next, classroom documents. You're going to see some classroom documents that are left over from previous years that are just useful to you. But as of right now, you probably don't need to click on any of these. I'll call your attention to them when they become pertinent. And I'll let you know when I add more things that we need as we go through the class. Monthly agenda is going to be the same as it was for AP Physics 1 if you took that. So you can click on the day. You're going to find what we're doing that day. You'll find a link to the video lecture while I'm out for that particular day. You guys will mostly have videos each day. And you'll also find your homework there, so you can click and look at your homework. We will have labs once every other week after school from 3 to 5, just like we did in AP Physics 1, and those will be posted on this calendar here. We won't have any after school labs until I get back to school, so there's nothing posted there yet. And let's quickly go through the syllabus. This is the syllabus that I designed that was approved by the College Board. So we are going to stick to it very closely, and it's got all the information about what we need to be doing in this class. You guys are going to notice that you've got your university physics book. The sub's going to pass those out to you this period. You need to make sure you take note of the book number and the condition. And if you, for whatever reason, do not like your book, please do not switch your book without talking to me or the sub. We need to make sure that we know which book you have, so at the end of the year, you don't have to pay for a book that you turned in but didn't go through the process properly. Okay. You will need to buy I need to update this, but when it comes out, the current edition for the AP Physics review book for the Princeton Review. And some of the questions we do in AP Physics C are going to come out of the Stewart Calculus book. We won't pass those books out to you guys, but if you would like to have that book to get extra practice with calc, and you're not currently taking the advanced calc class, then that's the listing for that book. I'm also going to pull out problems from other physics books to supplement our books so that we get lots of extra practice with things. Materials, it's not necessary that you have exactly the same materials as I've listed. The only real requirement here is that you have pens and pencils, that you have your graphing calculator, and that you have a way to record your laboratory notes that in a non-digital way for the labs. You're going to, just like we did last year in AP Physics 1, you're going to have a combination of digital note-taking and handwritten note-taking in the lab to get practice with good laboratory housekeeping. Course is divided into a couple of different sections. We will end the year after the exam with modern physics, which is something that I'm really excited and passionate about, and a really big break from what we do in the class. The course is split between classical mechanics, electricity, and magnetism. We won't necessarily cover electricity and magnetism because it's not part of the AP Physics C mechanics test. If you're interested in taking the AP Physics C electricity and magnetism test, you'll want to send me an email and we'll talk about how you can get that going. But in class, we will only cover the AP Physics C mechanics test. These are the sections of your lab report that are going to be required. You're going to want to look through that, make sure you understand what's going on. There's also different types of labs that we'll be doing. There's lots of good information in the syllabus here that'll let you know about that. Most of my class policies you're familiar with or very similar to other teachers. Grading for the class is 15% homework, 25% labs and quizzes, and 60% tests. So keep that in mind as we're working through. Information about quizzes and tests is there. And on the last page here, you have an outline of just kind of a projected outline of the labs and assignments that we're going to be doing for each section. We just got new vernier equipment this year, so a lot of these labs that we did before are going to be updated as we go through the year. So we should have a lot of fun doing some new labs with new equipment, so that's going to be really nice. But you can look through that and just get an idea of what we're doing. I would advise you not to work too far ahead if that's something that you're in the habit of doing, because the assignments here are subject to change based on what I think everyone's strengths and weaknesses are and what we need to be spending time on. So I'd hate for you to do too much of something or do a whole lot of something and then not the revised assignment or something like that. So anyway, it's there for your information. Any officially assigned work will be on the calendar, and this is just kind of a projected outline for you so you know what to expect. All right, so that covers the website. Let's go back to the OneNote page, getting started, and there's a couple of things we need to go through. So we will be turning in lab reports through Google Classroom. You guys will need to log into your Village Academy account, go to Google Classroom, and sign in as a student, and enter this code to join the class. Once you join the class, you'll get something that looks like this. You'll click on AP Physics C, and that's where you're going to see where you submit your laboratory reports. Right now there's nothing there, but there will be by the time we have our lab. And going back to OneNote, so just make sure you get that, join that Google Classroom today, please, so that I can get everyone in the roster and get everything set up. Also, again, just a reminder, here's a link to the YouTube channel, here's a link to the website if you need it, and here's some stuff for you to remember just while we go through these first couple of days. So make sure you're checking the calendar daily so you know what's going on and what you need to do. If there's links to videos in the calendar, you need to be watching those. I'll usually set aside the first 15 minutes of class for you guys to watch those videos, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how intricate the video is and how much note-taking or pausing and starting and stopping you need to be doing. But while I'm out, that's kind of the structure that you'll have. Make sure you're going to my OneNote to look at the notes from the videos. Make sure tonight you download Logger Pro and install it. Sometime this week you need to turn in your summer work, so make sure you get it turned in this week. And if you have any questions, email me. Here's my email. Make sure that when you're emailing me, you are not using McDonley TA, as that's the other Mr. McDonley. And one thing to finish up with here, here's the laboratory rubric. This is going to give you a good idea of what the expectation is for your laboratory reports. As we do our first lab, we'll go over this again and I'll walk you through each of the sections. But you might want to read over this so you have an idea of what the expectation is and all the different components that you're graded on while you work on your laboratory report. So this rubric is how I'll be grading you guys. And you're probably familiar with when you turn in your lab report in Google Classroom, you'll get the rubric back and it'll tell you how you've been evaluated in a score of 0 to 4 in each of the categories, and that's going to translate to the grade that you get. If we switch over to the other section in this notebook, you can see where we're going over the next 2 weeks or so. Tomorrow and maybe today, after you guys get books and all the administrative stuff done, you're going to be doing a lab investigation about air resistance, and there's some notes here, and you'll have another video for you to watch where I'll kind of introduce you to the